So what factors led pastors to abandon or neglect or lose interest in theology? I'm not a pastor. I've looked into this question. Books have been written about it, and I've talked with many who are pastors. Obviously, the first issue is simply busyness. Time is at a premium. More has been written than ever before. We're living in an age of specialization, and it feels as though we have everything we can do to master one subject, much less all the topics that a pastor studies in seminary, Old and New Testament, church history, theology, and so on. And I think what often happens is when pastors begin serving in a church, the practical demands, people demands, the regular routine things that just have to be done become somewhat overwhelming. And so pastors, I think, feel as though they're managers of people and programs and don't have time to study. So that's one issue that has to be addressed, but it's connected to another. And I think the reason they feel they don't have time is that there are cultural expectations on pastors as to what they should be doing. And I sometimes wonder if secularization hasn't crept into the church at this very point, namely our image of what a pastor is and should be doing. They should be ministering, they should be involved with people, they should be counseling, doing therapy, putting programs together. Those expectations are not conducive for a pastor to retreat to his or her study and read a theology book. So why does doctrine matter? The burden of proof, I think, is on those who want to say that it does, but my answer would be we need doctrine in order to make disciples. And that means we need doctrine, Christian teaching, in order to fulfill Jesus' Great Commission. So that would be one reason that I think pastors aren't having the time to do theological study. The cultural expectations are pushing them in a different direction. So I would be worried if secular image of what a pastor is colonize our imaginations to the point that there's no room for theology. We need to reconceive the pastoral task with theology right at the core. Because what are pastors here for? They're for ministering the Word of God, yes, and leading church activities, but they're here to cultivate Christ-likeness in their members. And there are some difficult questions that have to be asked about what it means to follow Christ in such a world as this.